Greetings, welcome back to Switch to Linux. How is the audio today? The last time I recorded, the audio had a little bit of a light hum to it, and if that's still the case, then I might need to adjust it a little bit. So let me know how the audio looks for those watching. And yeah, sorry it took a minute to jump on there. That YouTube keeps on changing the they keep on changing the style names on the background. So I have a CSS style sheet to drop into the comments to give it a nice black, and they keep on changing the name of the one main system. It causes the owner's background to always be white, and so I have to fight it every single time. It's really stupid. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on to the comments, see who's online. Paper Bag Man, howdy, howdy, howdy. Time is the stream starting, 9 p.m. Yes, okay. I remember them saying it would take a good 10 years to rebuild after the attack thing. So far away, 10 years of 17 years ago. What are you talking about? I have no idea. Linux user, greetings. World of Linux, hello. Sorry, I'm currently installing Windows 10. Block you, man. Not kidding. All right. Let's see. Sourridge, you subscribe to Deep South Homestead also. I thought you maybe. Wasn't sure, though. Having issues with Linux and my NVIDIA graphics card. Probably find a solution, but I think it's because an old Linux kernel version, but I can't update because of freezing after 15 seconds. Did you also install the proprietary drivers for that? There's another question. Greetings, Brendan, and other carbon-based life forms. Greetings, Sella S, I guess. How's it going there? Honestly, I think since Nadella has joined Microsoft, they stopped caring about their customers, using them as new products to fill their desires. Yes, I agree. I agree. I don't try the new Peppermint. No, not yet. I will need to look into that, though. It's been a long time since I did not use Windows, and I know why I switched to Linux. Get it? Bad pun, something else. Yeah, okay. Weebly wobblies, but they don't fall down. All right, went from open source drivers to NVIDIA proprietary drivers, so it may not be the incompatible with Linux kernel version, may also be the NVIDIA drivers or both. Okay, yeah. Okay. A little while, but before you install NVIDIA drivers, do you try remove the open source drivers first? From what I understand, I guess sometimes it doesn't remove all that while you install one driver, messes up the config file. That's a possibility. Yeah, you still get problems on Linux, you still get problems on Windows. It's just different problems. I need to disable some stuff like changing the boot flag so it does not utilize NVIDIA graphics card. Having some weird issues since I upgraded Mint from 18 to 19. May have to just reinstall from scratch. I know, which was a Windows solution. Yeah. I'd also wait until the final release is out, unless they did release the final and I'm unaware of it. Let's see. Greetings, Spider Eyes. About time I got here. Yeah. You know, I was working on some things and just kind of wrapped up. It made me a big old bowl of fudge ice cream for later on this week. All right. Only really upgraded because I wanted to run newer versions of Kden Live. Well, actually, you can run. I run the latest versions of Kden Live. You can put in the current stable Kden Live PPAs. You have to search for them. They took them off the website. They say to use the flat pack, which doesn't work as well. I am not a big advocate of the flat packs and the snaps and things like that. But if you can, you'll have to hunt for it because it's not on their website anymore. But if you use the PPAs for the stable Kden Live, you can get the latest Kden Live on older versions of Linux Mint. That's what I do. Okay, if you're updating distro, best advice is to full install rather than upgrade. Greetings, Frost Ranger. DistroTube, how's it going there? I lost my place. Audio sounds fine. That's good to know. Yeah, I love it when people are trying to leave me comments without like, I mean, it was a rude way to leave a comment. It was like, you need to go into OBS and do blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I know how to run OBS just fine. Yeah, there seemed to be a little bit of static on one video, and it was something with the mic. Didn't know it was there, so you know, I don't need to be taught how to use OBS. Thank you very much. I think I manage OBS okay. I mean, you know. Can I do a series about Linux alternatives for Windows software? Yeah, that's a neat idea. Somebody had suggested that, and I think that's a good one. Thank you if it was you as well. Me, I subscribe for reviews on Linux and open source world and computer. Me, an intellectual. Kitty Cam. Yep. I don't know where the kitty went. Kitty. All right. Audio's good. GNU's the application on top of the kernel. Neither is based on each other. Okay. Audio's good. Good. All right. Hello, Mark Yates. I'm about to order a microphone. I'm looking for a budget option. Strongly considered Moranza MP series, but would take a big chunk. I mean, if you want a good mic, I use the Meteor mic. It's like $60 new, and it's good. My Friday's not doing too shabby. With volume on full, all I can hear is what might be the sound of a PC running. No hum or birds whistling this time either. Pulse audio always yeah, I know. I'm telling you. It's because computers with me, when they try and be goofy, I just say like, dude, my silicone thumb's going to come touch you. And they're like, I'm getting in line, man. I mean, that's what they do. Video's fuzzy though. Really? Huh. And I'm not sure what's up with that. I want great audio for the channel. All my scripts to shoot video on the other hard drive, trying to sync it all up and shoot more content. All right. Tinfoil hat is missing. Yeah. Who let DistroTube in here? I let DistroTube up in here, man. He snuck in with a fake ID. Yep, that's right. Anyone enjoy Plasma 513 besides me? No, I like Plasma. I'm not sure I've used 513 a lot, though. But, you know. You love GNU Linux. All right. Greetings, Samuel Lord. How's it going there? All right. I prefer PPAs to Flatpaks as well. Every Flatpak install I tried failed. Would just freeze after a minute. Oh, Lent 19 was just released? Been late. It's been a crazy past 2 weeks. Thank you, Horace. It looks like they changed the... YouTube keeps changing all of the little tiny scripts. And distro... Have you... DT, have you noticed that as well? They seem to be changing all the codes. I had my CSS perfectly set up the way I want it, and then the last couple of days, I dropped my CSS code in for the chats, and everything looks differently. So thank you for that, Horace. Let's see. Been a crazy couple weeks. I understand crazy couple weeks. Waiting for elementary 5. Is it 5.0 or is it 0.5.0? Because the low key is 0.4.0. But I'm not sure though. I am sounding robotic tonight. Can anybody else say I'm sounding robotic? Okay, so somebody's saying... So some people are saying it sounds robotic. Let me grab a... hold on. I'm going to grab a monitor line, see if I can hear it or not. Okay, check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. I'm not hearing roboticness. Yeah. Let me know if it's, yeah, if we get consistent roboticness, then I'm going to have to fight with it a little bit. It is 5.0. Oh, okay. You know, usually you do 1 before 5, you know? Greetings, Anarita. How's it going there? Kitsun, greetings. Since reinstalling Mint. I'll have to listen back to it again and see if it still sounds robotic or not. Can I still type? Oh my lord, yeah. See all that funness? YouTube totally screwed up the CSS, how that works. I'm just gonna hopefully go back and copy. Go to the very bottom line. Okay, give me just a second. I'm resetting the chat. Hey, I can read now. Look at that. All right, good enough. See, that's now working right. It's just that when I do a comment, it'll be outlined in white. I think it's a little annoying, but okay. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive on in. We're just going to cover the first one. I only have one story under security, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to bother recording it. So let's just go ahead and jump on into the security news. All right, so in our security news, the Apple has the quick look system, which is kind of like the silly dumbed down it's their kind of silly dumbed down type option for how their system produces cache files and things like that. I hate how that mic is put in there. That should be better. All right, still not perfect, but we'll work with it. All right, how's audio there? Is that good enough? All right, so what they did here is they have this quick look cache system. Well, it turns out that it even encrypts things, and even an encrypted drive, and if an encrypted drive comes on, it will still make all the cache files, and when the drive is removed, all the cache files remain. So since Apple also has this funny little thing where it can keep 512 pixel size files for the cache, which is actually very large, then it actually makes it possible to see whatever you're doing. So they basically took some Luke Skywalker pictures here and put them in the encrypted drive, install it in, load up the drive, and then what happens is the cache is able to see them. And this is kind of a big deal because anything that you do on a Mac, it produces a little cache file, which will give you like an index of what the file looks like and things like that. So that's kind of what the circumstance and situation is. So if you're using a Mac, just make sure, be very aware of what's going on there. If you have, if you're using, for example, the encrypting drives and things like that. They said, yeah, was this the one they're fixing? I think they said they're fixing this soon, but it's not being fixed quite yet. That's kind of about how that's running. I gotta get the mic to not photobomb. All right, is sound still good? Let me do one more adjustment. There you go, that should work. All right, so that's that excitingness. So everything else we're gonna get in some real thing. Looks like yours is solid black. Yeah, I hate you too. Gain is a little higher than usual. Okay. Let me try this. I might have to work with sound a little bit this weekend, see if I can get it better there. Sorry, mad at typing plus English is my second language. So forgive me. You're mad at typing. All right. Tom, can you do a show on AI specifically taking over technology jobs and dealing with the harsh realities of finding employment in the 21st century? Sounds fun. Just a watcher of Tom. Nobody is special. All right. I won't tell your secret about never mind. Okay. I feel so many people are going to be SOL if we're not receiving government assistance because there will be no jobs. Yeah, and the thing is most people would rather work than have government assistance. That's the reality too. Okay. So maybe it was just I had my volume set too low on OBS. Maybe that was really the issue. All right, unless you get a clone in the future, it's up by 5 to 6 seats. All right. Okay. So let's. That's the fun thing there. Let's go ahead and jump on into the rest of the exciting news. A lot of things from Ars Technica today. I think what it turned out that they had great summary articles, and even going back to the original source articles weren't all that good. So we're gonna go ahead and start the recording, and then we will rerun the intro and dive on in. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is Friday, and today we're going to be looking at the corporatocracy news with our final discussion on Tesla. But before we get into there, AT&T is already planning more acquisitions day after getting this, and one of the things that they're trying to do is a new video service. See, this is the thing people were concerned about with the whole net neutrality thing, because as these ISPs also are having streaming services, then what can happen is they have now, since they were able to abolish the net neutrality rules, they can give you either free or at least access to their streaming services, but either charge you or charge Netflix or whoever else extra money, or meter their rate. So how long would you stick to watching Netflix if every other second the thing is constantly buffering because they're teetering down theirs, but they say, well, you can use our service and it runs great. This is what everybody's worried about. And now all of the ISPs, now by the way, these things were already going on, which is what led to the net neutrality rules being put into place to begin with. Now, all of the ISPs are owning more things. We can see that streaming is the way to go for some weird reason. And what is going to happen now with the rules off the books, these guys are going to have carte blanche to totally screw with any of their users. And this is a big deal. So, of course, this isn't going to happen overnight. And the most hilarious stupidity is when Agent Pie came out like the day after the vote. Oh, you can still do all these things. Yeah, you moron with a pie hole in your head. The rules aren't in effect yet the day after the vote. What, are we all so stupid that we don't know that? That's kind of crazy. But what we're going to start to see is it's going to start by adding what AT&T is already doing. If you're already an AT&T cellular customer, you can watch our video streaming service from your cell phone without any extra. Everyone else, it's I think it's $15 extra. Okay. And so what's going to happen is it's going to start with these slow add-ons and add-ons and add-ons, and then it's going to get to the point where the only ones will be able to work reasonably are the ones that they own and control. And this, people, my take-home message from this part, buy your DVDs, work out a system, own your media, don't stream your media. Because I mean, as much as I care about this, it's not going to force me into their streaming service because I don't want anybody's streaming service. Sorry. Of course, the ability to access things on YouTube would possibly be mixed up. This was funny, and there's a take. I'm trying to add good take-home messages to each of these. I'm trying to improve the news, make it more life applicable, not just say, "Look, the whole world's going to hell." But this one here, earlier this week, I think this was Monday, there was a huge Apple Maps outage, and people were driving through New York City and somehow did not find themselves stranded in the Australian outback. But the entire Apple Maps system went down for a couple of hours, leaving a whole ton of people relying on their GPS units to not know how to get there. Now, you can always go onto a web browser on a phone, boot up Google Maps, I guess, unless they both go down simultaneously. But the reality is here is we as people don't know how to read maps anymore. We don't know how to follow directions anymore. We have become slaves to our machines. And relying on the GPS and the mapping capabilities of your phone is particularly damaging. Like, a car GPS isn't as bad because that's not dependent on an internet signal and things like that. But the utilizing your mapping features on your cell phone requires your cell phone maintains a consistent data connection, unless you're using an offline app like OSM and is it OSM and I don't know, whichever one I'm using, because you can download the maps. So I could download the maps, turn on GPS location. Yeah, it's called OSM and, which is OpenStreetMaps. So OpenStreetMaps allows you to download the maps for your region. And then what you can do is utilize the GPS function, which is not dependent on that. Even that, I'm not a huge advocate on. It's way better to just learn how to read maps. So your take home from this is these data connections could go down. Don't leave yourself out. Dave Ramsey says, you know, when the tide comes in, you can, when the tide goes back out, you can see who is skinny dipping. Of course, he usually uses that in analysis to see who is actually who's actually living on borrowed money when the economy goes down. So that's kind of my take home from that, is learn how to read maps, things like that. All right, so the last couple articles here are dealing with this Tesla issue. If you've not seen anything about this, there's this whole issue where there's an employee allegedly caught stealing records from Tesla, potentially either leaking the records out. And there's so much in this that we just don't have the information. And we either have to believe somebody who, on one hand, people are saying he's selling trade secrets to China or Russia or whatever else. But he says, I'm just being a whistleblower. I found serious security and safety issues with these cars. I approached my manager. He didn't do anything or care about it. And so he said he's a whistleblower. That's what he says. Musk says, on the other hand, that this guy he's a malicious hacker and he's doing all this and he's disgruntled because he didn't get a promotion, etc., etc. I don't know who to believe. I'm less inclined to believe a millionaire sociopath, in all honesty. But at the same token, what's interesting is to see what's going to go down here, because Tesla has filed a lawsuit against the guy. But the problem is that both of them are getting into this heated public discussion on Twitter with each other. Musk, have a brain. Stop it. Let him be and deal with him in the courts. But my prediction, what's going to happen with my prediction is, here we have the lawsuit listed here. My prediction is Tesla, or Musk probably, is going to simply drag this through the court system so long, they're just going to bankrupt this guy and basically make him do whatever they want. They're going to make him cry mercy because Musk's got some money. Unfortunately, it's all a whole ton of money that we gave to him as American people, which is kind of scary. So this is an interesting one to keep an eye on, because we don't know who's really telling the truth. If this guy's legitimately a whistleblower, he says that he only leaked data to media. He leaked pictures of punctured lithium-ion batteries and major security vulnerabilities in the software. And we know there's security issues in the software. And that's, I think Tesla should come off the road, or in any other car that you can have a ready internet access get to it. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. With that being said. And so this is one of those cases where, it's going to be interesting to see where it comes. And I don't have necessarily a side. My prediction is we're going to see Tesla drive this guy through the mud because they got the money and he's just a low-level worker. And that's unfortunately how America works. He's just going to be dragged through the mud. And that's sad. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about all this. This is going to be one that I'm going to be watching. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. All right. There's that. Let's see what we say on the live feed here. No way I want to be like that. Work like that. Life's not for me. Just can't sit around and do nothing all day. And go to Walmart 365 days a year, I'd go crazy. Cray. Read a lot on Ars Technica. Google curates it for me on my homepage thing in Chrome. All right. Why did you play your intro, not just start the article? Because I record these. I record these and cut out just the news segments for people that miss the live stream but want to watch just the news snippets. So that is, I redo that. That way it's slightly less video processing when I get to it. All right. Moron with a pie hole in your head. That would be Asian pie. Terrarium app and Showbox give you free access to every Netflix TV show, movie, watch whatever, download whatever. Huh. Sounds at least picked at the right president. Asia Pie was placed by Trump to end net neutrality. Unfortunately, it was Obama who put Asia Pie into the FCC. Trump doesn't know what net neutrality is. Stop trying to say Trump wants to end net neutrality. Trump is clueless when it comes to what the internet is. He's no idea. It is the ISPs that have hired Asia Pie to get rid of that. He was just, for whatever reason, the one that Trump put up to be the commissioner after Wheeler left. So no, Trump did not appoint Asia Pie to the FCC to kill net neutrality. A, Obama put him in the FCC, and B, Trump doesn't know what net neutrality is or what it is. I don't even know if the man knows what the internet is outside of Twitter. I don't know. Honestly, I see no difference. I mean, I can still go to YouTube and watch videos, but understand that the rulings just went into effect. Was it? I think Monday. They just went into effect. Hello, everyone. Hi, Anna Rita. So those just went into effect, but most of your ISPs already have Department of Justice rulings that they will not be able to do anything about it until later on this year. And so that's really what the difference is. So eventually it may get to the point where you can't access YouTube as readily anymore. Apple Maps is normally crap anyhow. Yes. Crapple, yeah. Apple Map is total crap. Yes, it is. Why don't we just call it Apple crap? I mean, another reason he breaks his videos into parts. If one video gets demonetized, won't be affected as found. Nah, I don't know. The hilarious thing is my deeply, deeply, deeply controversial and highly offensive video never got demonetized. But the little snippet that I pulled out about how to pick a Linux distro, that got demonetized. I don't know. Done an American Atlas for over 6 years. Yeah, very good. Yeah, questions about home security. I want to set my own webcam security camera capture movement. Does anyone here use that with Linux Mate? The only recommendation I would have is don't get one of the big ones that requires a cloud service connection. So like Google is doing the big webcams, Amazon's doing the big webcams. Avoid those big services. You want to get a standard IP camera that is not dependent on any apps or anything like that. And then what you do is you set them up on a home network system only. What you can do is you set them up so if there is any movement detected, it will snap 6 or so email pictures and email you those at any point in time. So I have mine that you cannot access them from outside the server because there's probably inherently issues with them. So the only way I can access my cameras from outside my network is to get into my network with my VPN. That way you can view everything. As far as where they work, you get those types of ones, and they're exclusively web-based, so you can use them. And I got mine our AirSight brand. So that's the one you want to look at. And there's other ones like that as well. Just don't get one of the ones that's tied into some company servers where they're bouncing your data into their servers. That's just creepy. I believe the whistleblower before Musk or Tesla. I'm kind of leaning that way, but Since Obama signed the regulation net neutrality back in 2008, so why did Obama want to do this? The net neutrality thing is complicated. It was, if you look at who appointed Ajit Pai, it was Obama. Obama administration, it wasn't the Obama administration, it's the FCC under whatever commissioners they have. The commissioners at that time under Wheeler, they actually wanted to do the same thing that Ajit Pai did now, but Wheeler did what he was supposed to do. He did his job, which is go to the American people and say, what do you want to do? Overwhelmingly, the American people said, we need net neutrality to prevent the ISPs from abusing us. And so Wheeler did an about-face and put into policies what the American people wanted. Ajit Pai spit in the face of the American people. That's what he did. And likely as Ajit Pai sucked up to Trump and got the position. Okay, well, you got a lot of thumbs down. Go figure. Yeah, I even had people on that other video. I mean, I had one person that it was a rather rude email, so I just deleted it. But they're like, I saw your despicable video on separating families, and we should debate this online, and we should get our churches involved. Like, what? Pfft, delete. You know, and if a person said, hey, I disagreed with some things in the video, would you be willing to discuss it? Absolutely, I would have. But it's how you come off. When you come off as being so unteachable to say, your despicable video, I don't have a need to have a conversation with you. I mean, I just don't. Single standard wired Logitech cam on my Linux Mate box and point at the door. Hey, you could do that. The problem is you don't get, the thing would have to be constantly recorded. So if you get a motion detector one, then they're not constantly recording, and then you can just kind of set them to record when they trigger something. Funny, whose idiot released a video about 10 things you could do after the takedown of net neutrality. I feel bad for his family. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and jump on into privacy. This is going to be an interesting topic there. Push my record button, reroll intro, and jump into privacy. Welcome back to Switch to Linux, another clip from the Friday Night Live news. Today we're going to be talking about the privacy news. We're going to be talking about way too much data sharing. And I mean, this is just things that make your mind go, what's going on? So first, we start with, of course, you guys remember that the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, and they went bankrupt and all this. Well, it just turns out that all of the key employees involved in Cambridge Analytica, they went bankrupt, closed down the business because, you know, there's a point in time you just got to jump off the ship. And they jumped off of the ship right into another passing boat. And that passing boat is, guess what? Another data analytics company called Propria, which is, of course, working with the Trump campaign and numerous other people. Chances are they're using all the same data. So they've just collected all the stuff, jumped with it. They jumped off of one boat, let that thing sink, sabotaged it with some dynamite, blew it all up to the bottom of the sea, jumped on this new boat, which proudly displays Propria. Can we take these directors and people involved and just throw them in a prison cell for a while with no access to anything outside world until we get all this sorted out? That's kind of what we really need to think about doing. And of course, they're still working with the Trump campaign again. Of course, Cambridge Analytica did that. So they're working on the next one, and they're doing all the same stuff. It is effectively the same company. Same company. I believe they're in the same building. They might be on the same floor. I think they went bankrupt, they put up an auction, and they bought it from themselves, and they opened up a new company with all the same data and all the same everything. It is the same company. Let's hold them accountable now before it gets crazy. but of course they're working on, and now this came out because one of the guys was out there bragging in public about what they did, and a journalist happened to be sitting nearby and recorded that bad boy. So basically he says, you know, I'm laser focused 2018 midterms, holding the House and increasing our seats in the Senate. He says once we do those things, I'll start working on re-electing President Trump. That's exciting to know. London-based Cambridge Analytica is accused of playing a key role in a 2014 breach of 87 million Facebook users' personal data. Company said it did not use any of the data for Trump's election campaign. Yeah, we believe that. Everybody, thumbs up the video if you believe. Oh wait, don't do that. I won't get any thumbs up. Yeah. 3 of the people on Data Propria's 10-person team are Cambridge Analytica alumni, but they said they were focused on campaign operations and data analysis, not behavioral psychology. That's data. Cambridge Analytica was never about data psychology. It was the psychologists who were involved in that. They're the ones who bought the information from the guy. Oh, God. David Wilkinson is one of the employees, British citizen, is the company's lead data scientist. During 2016 campaign, Wilkinson helped oversee the voter data modeling that informed Trump's focus on the Rust Belt, according to Cambridge Analytica press release issued after the election. Federal election law bars foreign nationals from directing, controlling, or directly or indirectly participating in decision-making of U.S. campaigns. I don't know. I think my blood pressure is going a little too high. I might need to stop reading this one. Take-home message. Take-home message. Stay off your social media. Be very careful with your data online so it doesn't get scooped up by these people. And maybe keep on going with your Congress and Senate. I know it's like talking to empty rocks, people with empty rocks in their heads, but keep on pushing, get the companies like this, you know, out of politics. We don't need any of this type of stuff in politics, all right? Politics should not be about marketing. It should not be about directing. It should not be about information, misinformation, or targeted information on social media platforms. It should be about electing the people the American people want, not telling the American people who they want and then making it happen. And that's really an unfortunate thing where we are. We could probably go with that somewhere else. Well, do you guys use Chromecast or any of the Google Home devices? Well, they're kind of leaking data. Oh, this is the one Google said, yeah, we'll fix it in a couple weeks, maybe. This is a bug. I'm guessing it's not really a bug. So basically the way this works is you can get a script in on the back side of this. So any website which can load a JavaScript file can get in here and load up the JavaScript. And what it will do is it will kick on the ability for the thing to scan wireless networks, and utilizing Google's too large database as to where wireless networks happen to be from their Google cars driving around, they can actually pinpoint the location of your HomePod or your Chromecast within less than 10 meters. So take home message, get home crap off your network. And of course it's like, well, what's so wrong with this? Well, here's one of the greatest things that they had made in this comment is this allows phishing scams and other things to go very bad. For example, in this world where we're having the unfortunate case of swatting showing up, one of the things that we start to see every now and again, there was a case in, I think it was either in Denver or in Colorado Springs, just about a year or two ago, where a scammer was trying to scam somebody for money, and the guy's like, no, I think you're a scammer, and the scammer actually was able to get FBI. Basically, the scammer swatted the guy because the scammer figured out where the guy lived. So this allows you to do a whole lot more targeting fake FBI stuff, fake IRS stuff, any fake location to figure out where you are. They can figure out where you are. And these guys are so knowledgeable about how the system works and the loopholes in our system. They could get you killed from but the hand of our illustrious government from the other half of the world by unmasking where you are. So Google, fix this now. Don't wait 2 or 3 weeks. Take-home message, don't use crap like this. Do you really need a device that you... Okay, Google, play Spice Girls. Guys, we don't need a... go over and push the button to turn on the music, okay? Go over and toggle the light switch. Is this really that hard? The trade-off and the risk is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. At all. Verizon and ATT will stop selling your phone location. So remember this one. I covered this one about a month or so ago. This is where there was the company that was basically buying up all the location data. And you could go to this website, enter in the information of your phone. And there was even a way you could go in and bypass the verification. And by doing that, it could figure out exactly where your phone was within a very short range. So when all of this came out, it caused a big ruckus, of course. And Verizon and ATT, they said, we're going to stop selling phones location to data brokers. Carriers forced to make changes after the real-time data leaked. Now, of course, notice that there's more data providers than AT&T and Verizon. This is fascinating. Sprint told Ars that it has nothing additional to share. We asked T-Mobile for a response with widened statement, and we'll update the story if they answer. Sprint announced it is changing their data sharing practice after about 2 hours story published. Quote, Sprint is in the beginning process of terminating its current contracts with data aggregators to whom we provide information. This will take some time in order to unwind the service to consumers, such as the roadside assistant fraud prevention. It simply says it's suspending... It suspended all data sharing with Location Smart, a data broker involved in the controversy. That is that one. There was another one that's a little bit more ominous. Okay, T-Mobile CEO John Legere, who on Twitter his company, quote, will not sell customer location data to shady middlemen. Shady middle. Would you please define for me shady middlemen, please? Statement is vague. He did not specify whether T-Mobile will stop sharing with Location Smart or other aggregators. As detailed later in this article, T-Mobile's letter to Wyden on June 15 said the company will continue sharing data with these aggregators. Since the letter, quote, our office has not received any updated response from T-Mobile about its policy with respect to location aggregators or other data brokers. Another update, a further update, several hours after Legere's tweet, T-Mobile provided this statement to Wyden's office. We ended all transmission of customer data to Securus and will wind down our location aggregator statements. Didn't this just happen last week too? Where a CEO says something and then a company official statement has to come out and say something different. Either the CEO is not qualified to be CEO or the PR guy is covering something up. And you guys all know, you can tell a PR person is lying if their lips are moving or their fingers are typing. My take home from this, if you have T-Mobile or Sprint, jump ship. I mean, Verizon and AT&T aren't a whole ton better. But at least they're saying, yeah, we're stopping this. These guys aren't stopping it. At least it's confusing. Their CEO says, we're not stopping this. Their PR comes out and says, we're stopping this. It's like the CEO said what's really going on because he's a CEO and that's what psychopaths do. But the PR guy's like, dude, we can't say that. Shut up, CEO. Just shut up. Let me handle this. And he's like, we're not doing any of this. We're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, we believe you. T-Mobile / Sprint / whatever you are right now. I don't know. That's why I recommend banning both ships. Holy moly, this is just insane. So Verizon is ending with 2 different aggregators, Location Smart and Zamugo. See, here's the thing, though, is that they should end all of it. They should end all of it. There's no reason. Now, of course, this has been a big issue regarding the criminal case. Was it Clifford, whatever the guy's name was, where the police figured out that he was in the vicinity of crimes each time, and they utilized that to issue an arrest warrant, and that's been going through the Supreme Court. Well, guess what happened just this afternoon, people? The Supreme Court weighed in, and the Supreme Court finally decides against warrantless location searches in a major privacy decision. Hallelujah! There's somebody in the Supreme Court with a functioning brain. So basically they came down and said, no, you may not. Now, I did not read into this enough to see, does this overturn this guy's conviction or not? Carpenter. I was thinking Clifford. It's Carpenter. So I didn't read into this enough to know, does this overturn Carpenter's conviction? And my guess is it will. Because that was the thing that was decided. So the Supreme Court just came down this afternoon and said, in order for the police to get your location data from your cell phone, they have to have a warrant. Absolutely victory for the privacy world. Now, of course, it was a little nebulous. They refused to get rid of the third-party doctrine. In other words, they haven't completely done away with this concept. They haven't completely sat there and said, well, and this is where that issue is. The third-party doctrine is if I go in and I open up a Facebook account and the Facebook account has the terms and conditions and I fill out a bunch of information, the question now becomes is who owns this data? If I own the data, then that may not be passed on without a warrant. But if buried in the company's terms and conditions, they own the data, they can sell that data whoever they want, which means that they could give or sell the data to the government without a warrant. So they have not overturned the third-party doctrine law, but this is still a victory. We need to probably make the strides in that. So this is good. This has been a thing in the making. Now, of course, they had this 6-day rule, but and again, I didn't read that far into this. This just came out. So this is good, though. This is a really good thing that basically says, no, the government cannot keep active ties. So going back to our whole AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, and Sprint. Hey, T-Mobile and Sprint, the Supreme Court basically just said, if you're sharing data with a third party that might share it with a law enforcement, we might have some challenges. So keep that in mind. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with a few Amazon-y stories. Full disclosure, I have an Amazon affiliate link up there. If you do shop on Amazon, feel free to use that link. That'll help support this channel. And I appreciate it when people do that. And I use Amazon. I do. I am certainly critical of some of the things Amazon does. But I do use Amazon because they also have ways that you can use it privately. They have ways that Amazon, not to mention the fact that Amazon has pretty much killed most of the other places I could get certain things that I need. So there's unfortunately somewhat of a necessity, and maybe that's a problem. So this first one, all right, fine. I guess I'll accept so you guys can read the article. I don't really accept, but we can pretend. All right. So I was compelled. All right. European Union, get this site. Go get it. All right. Amazon helps hotels offer new engaging guest experiences with Alexa for hospitality. Yep, you'll start going into Marriott's properties now. Going to Marriott's, you might have your own special spy sitting right there in your hotel room. You can ask it for housekeeping requests or to call the concierge for dinner, for recommendations without ever picking up the phone. Guys, is it really hard to pick up the phone and push 0? I mean, really, I have stayed at a lot of hotels. I've never had a problem picking up the phone, pushing 0, and going, where's a good place to eat around here? Okay, like, how about this one? Where was it at? Oh, was it here somewhere? I don't know. It's in the article here somewhere. It's like, when's the pool open? Dude, every hotel room I've ever been in, they have a card sitting on the table with all that information. Stop asking Alexa, when's the pool close, Alexa? Walk your little hiney over to the table, pick up the piece of paper sitting on the table, and read when the pool closes. For the love. Now, if this couldn't get any worse, you can temporarily connect your Amazon Alexa account to this Alexa in the hotel room, so you can have your own personal Alexa there at home in the hotel room. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. So this is with Marriott. Of course, you can request that the always listening Amazon spy who will laugh at you hideously. You can request it be removed from the room, so it doesn't have to be there. So just an FYI on that. And of course, we cannot talk about Alexa without saying, Alexa, order unicorn meat. So there you go. I wonder how many cans of unicorn meat I've actually sold by doing that. I don't know. I was curious. Good thing I don't have any affiliation with the people who sell unicorn meat. All right. This is another one following in. Now, some people have tried to take this to spin this into the whole discussion, what's going on at the border. This doesn't have anything to do with that. This has to do with whole-scale sale of facial recognition technology to law enforcement. So Amazon has an entire branch called Recognition, spelled with a K. And what that service does is they're marketing that to law enforcement, which can be used to facial ID anyone, hundreds of people just from looking at an individual photo, which is a scary thing. Now, there is some IceRec comment in this as well, mostly because Planetar is hosted on an AWS server. So several hundred Amazon employees got together and signed a letter addressed to Jeff Bezos to cancel the recognition program and to cancel any AWS accounts with Planetar, because that's just too invasive. And kind of we're starting to see this shift where people are actually slowly starting to wake up. All of a sudden, people are starting to look and go, wow, the privacy people are actually onto something. And we're starting to see that over here. So, of course, you can read the letter over here. So this is on Scribd. So we'll read this letter. And it's a good letter. It says, Dear Jeff, we are troubled by the recent report from the ACLU exposing our company's practice of selling AWS Recognition, a powerful facial recognition technology, to police departments and government agencies. We don't have to wait to find out how these technologies will be used. We already know that in the midst of historic militarization of police, renewed targeting of black activists, and the growth of federal deportation force currently engaged in human rights abuses, this will be another powerful tool for the surveillance state and ultimately to serve to harm the most marginalized. We are not alone in this view. Over 40 civil rights organizations signed an open letter in opposition to governmental use of facial recognition, while over 150,000 individuals signed another petition delivered by the ACLU. We also know that Planetar runs on AWS. We know that ICE relies on Planetar to power its detention and deportation programs, along with much of the world. We watched in horror recently as U.S. authorities tore children away from their parents. Since the April 19th, 2018, the Department of Homeland Security has sent nearly 2,000 children to mass detention centers. This treatment goes against UN Refugee Agency guidelines that says children have the right to remain united with their parents and that asylum seekers have the legal right to claim asylum. In the face of the immoral U.S. policy, the U.S. is increasing humane treatment of refugees and immigrants. Beyond this specific policy, we are deeply concerned that Amazon is implicated, providing infrastructure and services to enable ICE and DHS. Technology like ours is playing an increasingly critical role across many sectors of society. What is clear to us is that our development and sales practices have yet to acknowledge the obligation that comes with this. Focusing solely on shareholder value is a race to the bottom, and one we will not participate in. We refuse to build a platform that powers ICE, and we refuse to contribute tools that violate human rights. As ethically concerned Amazonians, we demand a choice in what we build and a say in how it is used. We learn from history and we understand how IBM systems were employed in the 1940s to help Hitler. IBM did not take responsibility then, and by the time their role was understood, it was too late. We will not let that happen again. The time to act is now. We call you to 1. Stop selling facial recognition services to law enforcement. 2. Stop providing infrastructure to Planetar and any other Amazon partner who enable ICE. And 3. Implement strong transparency and accountability measures that include enumerating which law enforcement agencies the companies supporting law enforcement agencies are using Amazon services and how. Our company should not be in the surveillance business. We should not be in the policing business. We should not be in the business supporting those who monitor and oppress marginalized populations. Amen to that. And I'm going to add Jeff Bezos, please resign from all connections to the Pentagon, the CIA, and the Department of Defense, because you don't have any business there. That's my thought. What are your thoughts on that letter to Jeff Bezos and Amazon? Let me know below. Alrighty. Hi, switch from Windows to Fedora. Please recommend a PDF editor and how to work TLP. What is TLP? As for a PDF editor, what type of editor are you looking at? Of course, PDF generally is not necessarily an editable format. Even Acrobat really doesn't edit a lot in PDFs. So what is it you're attempting to accomplish? And let me see, and I'll see what we can do down below. People can agree to disagree and respect each other regardless, but I guess some people are not capable of doing that. Yep. Just to find this whole multiple intro thing a bit odd. Now I've gotten used to it and it's normal. It's a good idea to save time editing. Hate scams. Those people need to live in prison with Big Baba. Anyone get the telephone scam call from Microsoft saying they'll shut down your computer? Sadly, no. I mean, I so want to get calls like from those people. One thing that sucks is now we vote against politicians. No one likes Hillary, but many voted for her out of hate for Trump and vice versa. It's a battle of money. Yeah, we need to just simply abolish all parties. You cussed on it? What did you say? Did you say Microsoft? What did you say? I don't know. I missed it. UK, my mom had a call left on the answer machine stating that the phone line would get cut off if they didn't call back on a number. Yep. And it's just getting worse. It's so bad right now. And the best thing we can do, the immediate thing we can do worldwide, ban call spoofing. There is like maybe 1 or 2 legitimate uses for it. Okay, that is it. Oh, I missed it. Oh well. Never answer unknown numbers on my mobile. Not everyone in the UK has caller ID on the landline, though. They charge for it. Yep. Greetings, Spin Viking. How are you? Yeah, depending on your plan, usually on a landline, they do charge for it here, too. Yeah. I'll have to go look at Peppermint 8 now. I know what I'm doing a review of later on, like early next week. Used to buy the parts at Radio Shack to decode the info at the beginning of every landline call. Why have to actually do anything when you can ask a digital spy to get the same information? Yeah. People falling in love with an AI personality named Alexa. Can't be without her. Yeah. Privacy and info is so valuable to some people. You need to know that when talking to these AIs, you're submitting your questions and sayings to corporate servers. Yep. One Amazon, LOL. Think geek, easy, open, canned unicorn meat. Who knows? Who knows if our data could be potentially logged as an internal database to expose us someday. That is exactly the problem. This is what Edward Snowden called turnkey democracy. We are only 4 years from a tyrant entering the White House and totally destroying everything. Some people say we're there already. I don't know. Amazonian is already taken. Peppermint 9 has MS Word pre-installed. No, what that Spin Viking, that's actually, I mean, that's been in there for a long time. Peppermint is actually based on utilizing a system very much like a Chromebook. In fact, Peppermint was kind of based on, it was an answer, a Linux answer to the Chromebook. And so they have the special tool called ICE applications. An ICE application allows you to develop a desktop icon and a dedicated browser to a certain place. So what Peppermint does, since it's trying to compete with the Chromebook, is it will automatically populate Google and Microsoft services as ICE packages. So it's not MS Word that's pre-installed. It is simply a web browser going to Office 365. So if you have an Office 365 account, you can click on that, log in with your Office 365, and you now have a beautiful desktop icon to go to Office 365. You can install LibreOffice on those, though. You can get rid of that. So that's kind of, if you're unfamiliar with how Peppermint works, that's why it's there. Yep. It's called ICE. It's called the ICE applications. Yeah, we have 46 concurrent viewers right now. Good evenings, Yu-Gi-Oh! How's it going there? Well, what do you mean to edit PDFs? A PDF, by its nature, is a non-editable file. You can do things like maneuver picture. You can do things like maneuver some pages around and things like that. But that's what it stands for. It stands for portable document file. And the purpose of it was to produce a file that never changed its size and resolution and was very difficult to edit. So even Acrobat really doesn't edit very much. Acrobat has good OCR built into it. So there's our OCR reader is the one I use on Linux. And other than that, generally you would, quote, edit them by opening up in something like on Windows, I would open up a PDF in Photoshop. So on Linux, I'd open up in GIMP. So what do you mean by edit PDFs? Because a PDF is by its nature really a non-editable file. So what are you trying to accomplish is what I'm saying. I'm trouble with Windows and NVIDIA graphics cards. So I have to figure it out. Okay. Difference between Microsoft and Ubuntu. There's a big difference between Microsoft and Ubuntu. Well, I mean, you'd have to say Microsoft and Canonical, or you'd have to say Windows or Ubuntu, because Microsoft is the company that makes a variety of applications, including Windows 10. Canonical is a company that makes a variety of products, including Ubuntu. So, I mean, we can talk about that another time. Yes, get calls like this. Is your software company? Yep. Right. PDF Shuffler is good for basic page rearrangement. Yeah, editing of text. Not even Acrobat does that. There's some things. What Acrobat can do is you can use an OCR combined with a delete and replace type function, but it's really not all that good. Usually, you just open it up in GIMP, is what I do. Possible they mean fill in info like an application form. Not much. PDFs cannot be modified much. There's very little you can do with them. In which case, look at Scribd, and that's going to be your best bet is Scribd. Scribus. It's called Scribus. That's what I use. You can do some things with that. So you want to look at Scribus. And I think that's going to be your best bet. Look at Scribus. If you can do anything with anything you could probably do with Acrobat, you could probably do with Scribus. All right. I think we're getting to the end of the comments, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna call on the beast here. Change text, highlight stuff. Yeah, and it also has to be a PDF file. To edit it, even with Acrobat, to edit text, it has to be a file that was created with a text editor and imported correctly. So even then, you're very limited in what you can do. Change text, highlight stuff. Yeah, I look at Scribus. I'm not sure about the other ones. Looks like Peppermint 9 came out today, actually. Yep, Peppermint 9 came out today. It's based on Ubuntu 18. So yeah, if you just head on over to the Peppermint page, you should be able to see it now. All right, let's go ahead and feed the beast, and then we will do a final call for comments. Oh, kitty. Kitty. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, here you go. All right, kitty. Right there. Oh boy, Kitty's stepping on the space bar. I don't know what the kitty's doing. Kitty changed the view on you. Kitty's like, you're not watching me eat that one. You changed the view on the peoples. Yes, you did. You stepped on my space bar. You stepped on my space bar. You changed the view. Was that fun? Is that good? Here you go, buddy. All right. All right, let's see. Okay. All right. Is Deepin spyware? Not specifically. I'm not sure about the very latest Deepin, but the second to latest Deepin had in the software center, there was an ad data collection script. So if you would load up the software center to install or update, then that that data mining tracker would send data to some third party. That's what caused the issue with Deepin. Brushing the teeth. Yep. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Your cat's no longer with you. I'm sorry. That's right. CJ has taken over the stream. Yes, he has. He's like, I'm even changing the scenes around, man. Right? Changing the scenes around, are ya? And we're like, yes, present arms. We are just wrapping up, and you missed the feeding of the kitty. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyrie Holmes. I'll hang out for a little bit longer if you guys want.
Well, sometimes during a live...
I want to see if Toss is streaming or not. Oh, Kitty's like, I'm out of here, yos. Kitty, your butt is in the camera view. You want to get off the desk now? I don't think people want to see that end of you. That's not your cute end. All right. Yeah, I don't see Toss live right now. I don't know if Toss is going live or not. All right. Software Center was based on Chrome and had it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Google Analytics. It was a Chinese data analytics firm. Yeah, CJ's mooning the camera. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up unless there's anything else. And I don't know. I might go ahead and check out. I might check out the new peppermint here soon. CJ, that's what I call a pie hole. Oh, Toss is not streaming tonight. Okay. All right. One question switch. What do I know about BSDs? Not much. I have a pfSense router, if that counts. Hey Joe, how's it going there? I don't think he is. Earlier this week he said I might skip tonight. Not heard from him either way. Alright. Hey, I could just go longer and turn this into a toss stream. Should we find some news and nonsense to do? Did the Intel CEO quit? Yes. The Intel CEO, he had a consensual relationship with somebody in the company, and that is against company policy, so he quit. And that's kind of caused a little bit of a ruckus, and yeah, that's problematic. Let me see if I can find some crazy news stories. Well, we'll stay on a little bit longer because Toss isn't streaming tonight. Or I could boot up. I could close this one down and boot one up under Google Hangouts and invite people on. I could do that too. I don't know. There's some interesting ones here. Oh Lord. Okay, let's see. All right, there's a few winning news articles over here. Oh, don't give me that. All right, we're gonna have to mute the audio here because I don't want to play stupid stuff like this. Oh Lord, I've end up on Huffington Post of all places. Great. The beacon of truth in our world. But anyway, we got some fun articles here. All right. Rat suspect found dead in ATM and make $19,000 worth of chewed Indian rupees. Apparently, here's a picture of the rat. Dead rat inside of an ATM with a bunch of chewed up money. Oh! Ouch. That's exciting. Of course, if we want to be the light in a dark world, let's let photos of cats high in catnip be a light in this dark world. Oh, kitties. Yeah. See, this right here is what happens when you legalize marijuana, yo. Whoa. Coco is Coco for catnip. Look at that cat. Wow. I don't even know what's going on there. My cats are just not a fan of catnip. That looks like my cat. Look at that one. Hey, kitty, I found your twin. Come here. Come here, you. Come here. See that cat? See the cat? What do you think of that cat? Yeah? He's like, dude, what is up with that creature? Edgar. I think I like my cat the best. That looks, look at that. That looks just like my cat, doesn't it? Right? Right, CJ? What do you think? Yeah? Man with a gun tattooed on his forehead, charged with illegally possessing a firearm. Yeah. Gun tattoos are outlawed. The only outlaws, then only outlaws will have gun tattoos. Okay, so I guess he got into a car crash with a suspended driver's license and an illegally possessed firearm. Yeah, there's just some things you just don't do. I don't know. Man gets receipt telling the cook to spit in his food. Cheddar. Well done. Toast bread. Please spit in it too. Okay. After Mays complained to the on-duty manager, the waitress was fired and he got a refund. I hope. Florida man asks cop to make sure his meth is up to speed. Okay, Huffington Post, this is why people don't like your website. Stop auto-playing videos. Okay, yeah. That's exciting. All right, let's see. Downloading Peppermint tonight, throwing it on VM. Very good. BSD is full on Unix system. Is syntax is different for this. Been here listening, and yes, you can stay on longer. That's my vote. All right, we'll stay on longer. He had naughties and had to quit. Who was tossed? Total OS today. We go hangover on Total OS today's. I don't have Hangouts. I do have Zoom, though. I'll have to look into Zoom. I don't know. What one that makes Tom go on fire? Well, if you have a YouTube account, you have a Hangout account. So they're kind of linked. The developer posted code that scraped LinkedIn to find immigration custom. Yeah, actually, there was, let's see, what happened to that? I think the code was taken off. I think they took the code down. If cats weren't wacky enough to begin with. Okay, I read an amusing article on Beta News earlier this week about how Google is releasing their VR 180 creator for Mac and Linux only. Cool. Bill nice today, purely for testing. Very good, very good. Mom always says stupid is as stupid does. Um, said, is the moon ready for humans? Yeah, we can think so. Van turn autoplay off with Brave browser. I won't use the Brave browser. Sorry. It's worse. At data collection, Microsoft or Canonical? Oh, Microsoft, absolutely. All right, let's see what else I can find in the crazy news department. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Cracked. I like about half of the things that Cracked does. I like the like the honest truth ones with the old guy in them, but you get some of the younger guys on there. So Cracked is one of those ones I like about half of what they do, maybe a quarter of what they do. So this is from Cracked. And 7 crazy news stories that deserve their own movies. All right, so any movie producers in there? All right. Thawed out iguanas attack a Florida man trying to eat them and crash a car. What? If you live in a place that ever gets cold, you've probably only seen iguanas at a zoo or in someone's apartment during a very disastrous first date. However, if you live in southern Florida, they're everywhere, on streets and trees and even on your plate. In parts of Central and South America, these little monsters are considered yummy delicacies known as chicken of the trees. But unlike other food you can pick from a tree, including chickens, these fellas can mess you up. The winter of 2017-2018 saw an unusually cold weather in typically warm places. One of these was Florida, where temperatures dropped under 40 degrees. Bad news for iguanas, which like any cold-blooded reptile, become cold-stunned at such low temperatures. During the cold snap, paralyzed iguanas would simply fall out of trees, landing on the roads, walkways, and even in backyards. However, from the perspective of some Floridians, it was suddenly raining delicious frozen treats from the sky. Frozen, not dead. Oh, only in Florida. Anybody ever see Magnolia? Final scene where frogs start raining from the sky. Yeah, I'm kind of picturing this. All right, of course, Florida being Florida, one local was dumb enough to start scooping these stunned iguanas up, piling them into his car for later. However, seeing as it was so gosh darn cold outside, of course he put on his heater and as it was cruising for Lizard, consequently thawing out dozens of iguanas as he was driving. Needless to say, it's difficult to drive with a car full of pissed off reptiles, so he ended up crashing. They didn't eat him though, making them bigger iguanas. My cousin had an iguana. They had 2 iguanas once, like big 4 or 5 foot iguana, right? And I was staying over there one night, and he had another friend come over, and I was cousin, so I got a chance to have the guest room. So his friend drinks a little bit too much that night, and so he's decided to sleep on the couch. Well, my cousin forgot to tell him that he has iguanas. And they're not always in their cage. These are like 4 foot and 5 foot iguanas that are not always kept in the cage. Like they hang out in the cage, but they always just keep the cage unlocked because why not? Well, he forgot to tell this friend who was passed out drunk on the couch in the room where the iguanas live that he actually had 2 huge iguanas. So this dude wakes up in the morning and this 4 foot iguana is laying right on him because, of course, he's a lot warmer than the surrounding. And if you've ever had an iguana, you know that they like having their warm heat stones. So I wake up to this blood-curdling scream. I run downstairs and here's this guy, get off! Get off! It was classic. It was classic. All right, Swiss toilets overflowed with $100,000 in cash. Blocking someone's toilet's one of those fox paws you'll never live down. It's kind of a shame that it makes you move to a new state and sometimes assume a new name. one that isn't Poop Monster Dave. But in Switzerland, someone found a way to clog their can in the classiest way ever by literally flushing money down the toilet. When an employee at the U.S. bank in Geneva went on their bathroom break, they encountered a very pleasant surprise. Words that have never been said about a public bathroom stall. First at the U.S. bank, then at 3 nearby restaurants, hundreds of 500-euro bills were clogging the pipes, risking backing up the toilets. Altogether, authorities estimated that 100,000 euros, worth $120,000, which was sadly cut into pieces, went to its watery grave. Police quickly found the culprit, 2 Spanish women who admitted to cutting up and flushing the bills. Yet, the case remains a mystery as both women refused to explain why they did it. Naturally, the police immediately suspected they were dealing with dirty money. Well, dirtier money. However, while U.S. law makes it a crime to destroy money, in Switzerland it's technically not illegal to put your money where your opposite end of your mouth is. So they've yet to be charged with any wrongdoing except for clogging up a toilet like a monster. Spanish police find 8,000 pounds of stolen oranges stuffed into some cars. Okay. Hard to imagine how much 8,000 pounds really is. 1 elephant, a billion Cheetos, or as it turns out, about 3 cars worth of oranges. January 2018, a routine traffic stop led Spanish police to uncover some rather zesty contraband. Stuffed inside 2 cars and a van were over 8,000 pounds of stolen oranges. Officers noticed the vehicles driving very close together in the middle of the night, so they decided to stop them and check for shenanigans. This caused the cars to speed off, resulting in a very short chase. Of course, cops were trained to be ready for everything when stopping a car, but when they asked the guys to roll open their windows, they probably weren't expecting to be hit in the face with a clown car's worth of oranges. 5 people were arrested with connection to the theft. At first, the thieves insisted they had obtained an unreasonable amount of oranges fair and square, claiming they had come from very far away and had been stopping collecting oranges along the way. That's far, man. They were like they were on a picnic that goes out of hand. Suspicious and the dumbest of explanations, police quickly discovered the oranges had in fact been stolen from a shipment in the city, which leaves one question. Shouldn't they have been in crates? Did they take them out of the crates to maximize orange carrying capacity? Were they going to sell loose oranges? Cops in Scotland had a 45-minute standoff with a stuffed tiger. Wow. Thieves steal a minivan with a dead body inside. Okay. Woman receives 150 tropical fish after ordering a table on eBay. What? And a man got a letter approving unemployment benefits for his dog. Exciting. Oh, let's see. Spaces you probably like both. Removes. Okay, Windows is a box of chocolates. Windows is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. All right. 2 more questions for you. Can it be customized? Icons, themes, and also what DE does it come with? What are we talking about? Are we talking about Peppermint now? Oh, I think he's talking to the guy who made his. I did not read it back in the day. All right, let's see what else I can find. I think I remember this one. I think this is an older article. Okay, a news website. This is an ABC news site. Okay, there it is. Say, where is the title on it? Okay, yeah, that's a month old. I remember seeing that. Man survives bear attack and shark bite in 1 year. I've had enough of the ocean, man. I'm going to go into the woods instead. I don't know where to go. I saw something about this one. Apparently there was a train full of poop stuck in a town in Alabama. You know, it basically is transporting New Yorkers' human waste. Where's Toss, man? We need Toss. We need to explain this concept of putting all your New York waste into a train to cart it across. Where are they taking this poop to? I just don't get it. And nothing there is too exciting. This odd news from NPR is not particularly fascinating. Not finding a lot of good, funny articles here. "12 tons of liquid milk spill onto a Polish highway." Wow. Okay. We found Houston. We found one. Oh, come on. People, build better websites. Look at this big old annoying bar. Okay, so this kid here, and I can't read, the real title is up here, buried in this thing. Okay, never mind. Your site sucks. Kid gets head start a medical career by performing doll face transplants. I think that kid's... I think that kid's up to something goofy. Their site sucks, so we're not going to hang out over there. All right, here's a stupid criminal. Stupid criminal bank robbery suspect gives ID and is easily tracked by the police. Police say a quick-thinking bank teller in Ohio convinced a suspected robber to hand over his own license. Authorities say the man walked into Huntington Bank branch in Columbus on June 4th and gave the teller a note saying he was armed and demanding money. The teller gave the man a stack of cash, but then he demanded more money from the electronic cash recycling machine in the bank's lobby. Police said the teller told the man he needed a driver's license to dispense cash, so the man handed over his own license. License led police to a 51-year-old man who was arrested June 15th and charged with aggravated robbery and assault and threatening a deadly weapon. Okay, that's exciting. And a Phillies fan is injured by flying hot dog launched by a fanatic. I have no idea what that thing has to do with. I guess Phillies mascot? I don't know. Of course, that looks like a Philadelphian. I mean, all right. It was a flying Frankfurter, not a foul ball, that left a baseball fan with a black eye in Philadelphia. You know, to get a black eye from being hit in the face by a Frankfurter, you got to be hit with some bad speed. Kathy McVeigh says she was at Monday night Phillies game when the team's mascot, Philly Fanatic, rolled out his hot dog launcher. McVeigh was sitting near home plate, says all of a sudden got a hot dog wrapped in duct tape in her face. McVeigh says she's suffering from a shoulder injury, so she was unable to swat the hot dog away. She left the game to get a checkout and was diagnosed with small hematoma. She doesn't plan legal action. Phillies apologized to McVeigh and the team has offered her tickets to any game. Oh boy. Alright. Some parts of the world, human waste is used as a fuel source, part of recycling. Yeah, but to take New Yorkers' human waste and ship it across country by train is still a little odd. Tesla CEO suing whistleblower. There's a prominent advocate fighting against the car industry and is 60-70. Anyone remember his name? I think you're thinking of Ralph Nader. Man rescues alligator to be squeezed. Wait, hold on. I gotta find that one. We got some winners over here, guys. Just hold tight. We got some winners. All right. Oh, they're all auto-playing videos. Jeez. All right, never mind. We're just going to look at the... We're just going to look at the headlines over here. I'm not loading auto-playing videos. All right, some fun ones. A man rescues alligator being squeezed by python. You know what? If I came across an alligator being squeezed by a python, I'd be like, you guys figure it out. May the best critter win, man. And a Georgia grandmother strangles a rabid bobcat to death after it attacks her. Don't mess with grandma, I guess. Bride to have a chance to carry pizza bouquets. Very nice. California Airbnb offers bud and breakfast, pot included. Wow. All right, let's see. The Telegraph. I thought this was weird news. All right, the UK Telegraph has a weird definition of weird news. Routers, oddly enough. Lone woman digs for family lost under Guatemalan volcanic rubble. Okay. $400 flown from James Bond Mountain after Swiss cable car breaks down. Huh. I wonder if that's the. I think a friend of mine went on this thing when he was out that way. We looked at that one. Blood, sweat, and accessories. Artist recycles bodily fluids for fashion. Ew. Okay. Apparently there is a psychic cat in Russia. Okay. And I've seen a couple articles about this. There's a raccoon scaling a skyscraper in Minnesota. The Pope gets a spacesuit and a white cape. Okay. Bees get death by pesticide funeral in Paris. All right, let's see what's up in this strange news. All right, this thing is doing multiple auto-playing videos. Bye. Oh boy, back to ABC. This is why people don't like mainstream media anymore. Why is it that I go on any other website and I don't get autoplay crap and excessive assault with ads, but I cannot go on any mainstream media without them auto-playing videos and giving me such JavaScript-laden crap that the thing can't load. This computer's having a hard time loading that stuff. It's insanity. Woman who took dead butterfly from exhibit gets probation. I think we've covered those. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here shortly. Alrighty. Okay, besides Linux Mint 19, BD, Peppermint 9, what are the best Linux distros in your opinion? I like Debian, although it's not necessarily as good for a new user. Solus will probably be okay. On certain hardware, Elementary might be a good option. But really, from all the comments and discussions I've had with people, it seems to be good about 50% of the time. But when it's good, it's really good. And with the new release coming out, I'll be curious to see what that comes out with. I want to look at Fedora again because they've made a lot of good steps. And don't forget things like Gecko Linux, which is OpenSUSE, that everything works out of the box. OpenSUSE is good if you want to fix and resolve problems. Gecko is good in that you don't generally have to fix any of those. Manjaro is on my top lists, so that's always good. Graham was testing to see if it was a myth or true from Holy Scripture. So, what does this have anything to do with who owns our data? Cosmo, I finished up all of the topics and some people jumped up late. And so usually a bunch of us jump on to somebody else's stream, but he's not streaming tonight. So I stayed on later for the people who jumped on late. That's what it has to do with. You'll have to go back and check that out. Actually, maybe tonight I'll actually post those videos without the chat too. So if you want to check out, I did 2 news sections today. I did one on business and one on privacy. I'll try and get those posted and online tonight. So you can watch those without all the comments in between. Autoplaying driving me nuts too. Yep, most websites have some sort of pop-up crap. Yep. How do you rate our site? Well, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to use it before the annoying survey. Yeah, that's about it. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Tomorrow, I'm going to stream probably about noon. About noon Eastern time tomorrow. We're going to wrap up our Debian video that I accidentally broke the system. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up tomorrow and just kind of do a hangout for about an hour or so. Nothing specifically planned. Hey, pizza, pizza, pizza. Yeah, we're just wrapping up pizza. Sorry, man. I'll be on tomorrow about noon Eastern time, which is, I guess, that's about 9 a.m. for you, man. If you're up at 9 a.m. tomorrow, that's what time I'm going to shoot for. I might push it back to 1. I don't know. I'm enjoying my Saturdays mostly off, so I'm not doing a lot of prep. So, all right, guys, we're going to jump off. So thanks for hanging out for the extra time, and we will catch you guys later. And Kitty, you want to go say goodbye? Want to say goodbye? Do you? Want to come and say goodbye to everybody? Come on. Come on. Come on. You're not getting more treats, but you want to say bye? Kitty's like, no, I don't want to say bye. I'm not getting... Oh, never mind. There you go. There you go, buddy. Bye-bye, people. Have fun. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you. All right. Got 20 for 4 shoutouts. Very good, man. Yeah, I saw you did a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I'll go check that out tonight if I get the chance. So we will catch you guys later. And I have an event to be at all day tomorrow. Maybe see you tomorrow night. Yep, we'll see. Okay.